You're listening to The Residential Movement, where the focus is on making in-home dental care normal instead of novel or niche. I'm your host, Dr. Ashley Robinson, a house call dentist with a lot of passion for reaching patients who are best served in their home or residence. I'm here to encourage, equip, and empower dentists like you to begin offering in-home dental services for patients who cannot get to the office, while also enjoying a more balanced work life. We discuss everything from dentistry, business, ethics, mindset, and more. Listen in to learn how you can become a part of the residential movement.
Hello there. I am home a little bit sick today. I'm not visiting with patients, but I do have the ability to talk to you. I just wanted to warn you that if you notice that my voice sounds a little bit different, that's why. So I want to discuss a topic here that I've discussed on this podcast before, but I've just been getting so many questions about this lately that I want to readdress it. It's the topic of feeling safe in a person's home. People always ask me, do you feel safe in somebody's home? Or what about the risks of going into somebody's home? And in the past, I've shared practical tips about what you could do if you're concerned about safety. Things like hiring an assistant, keeping your phone nearby, positioning yourself safely in a room, practicing martial arts, or things like that. And I'm not going to go through all of that today or the details of that, but I've got to tell you, after almost 4 years of doing house calls, I've never really faced a safety problem. This isn't to say that I should be cavalier and make unsafe decisions, but I want today's podcast episode to address your attitude toward house calls so that your mind can be at ease. Here are some factors to note that may help you become more comfortable with the idea of offering dental house calls. First, as I already mentioned, in my personal experience, I've not really felt unsafe in someone's home. Some people are more comfortable to be around than others, which is the case anywhere, but I just haven't ever felt the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I've never really gotten the feeling that I needed to run or fight, and this is a blessing that I have very little control over, but I just have yet to have that experience. My assistant and I tell people on the phone if they're physically able to go to a dentist that a dental house call is not the best option for them. We also collect a sizable deposit prior to the first visit, and these practices discourage people from just casually scheduling with us. I meet with people who actually need me. On a somewhat related note, in the calendar year 2024, I purchased only one small ad in a tiny local newspaper during the month of November, just before the weather got bad here in Buffalo. That's just one ad. I think I spent less than $200 on marketing for my house call practice the entire year. This is because, at this point, after years of doing this, the vast majority of my patients are referred to me by word-of-mouth referrals. Some word of mouth comes from other patients, but most word of mouth comes from other home healthcare providers. When another home health provider calls us to tell us that they have a patient who needs dental care, I already feel at ease knowing that another person has met this person and treated them in their home without incident. And finally, I want to remind you of the countless number of other people who work directly in people's homes. And most of these people are not self-employed, they don't charge what a house call dentist charges, and they don't have control over the protocols that you as a practice owner will have control over. They don't always have referral pipelines either, yet they go into strangers' homes every single day for years and years, and it's just part of their job. In the past year alone, Chris and I have had a ton of people working in and around our home. For starters, the mailman comes every day. We also have Amazon drivers dropping things off every day. Just after the baby was born, we had Instacart deliveries too. We even get picked up by Uber occasionally. We live in a fixer-upper, so we've had roofers and outdoor painters over for quotes. And this spring, we hired an exterminator that came over to work outside the house and also inside the house. We hired plumbers to help us in one old bathroom, and we had bathroom salespeople inside to help us with another bathroom. We've also had a piano tuner and a housekeeper over to work in our home throughout the year. These people had no clue who we were. They didn't qualify their scheduling, and many didn't even ask where we found them. Also, most of these people work alone. These people are just people. They're honest, hardworking, neighborly people, and going into someone's home is just part of their job. They've been doing this work for years and years, and they haven't had problems either. I'm not encouraging you to be careless or put yourself in harm's way, but remember that for centuries, people have worked in people's homes, and usually without a problem. In our overly litigious society, people can scare you out of doing anything. And I just don't want you to be scared of doing dental house calls because these people genuinely need this service. At the end of the day, you are your own boss. You're responsible for yourself. You decide what you do and where you go and what you're comfortable with. If you know that you'll never be comfortable in someone's home, that's fine. Not everyone was meant to be a house call dentist. But remember, there are risks to remaining in just one public place all day long too. If you could muster up the courage to work in someone's home, you'll be providing a life-changing service to your patients. Thank you for listening today, and thanks for considering house call dentistry as a career. I really appreciate you.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Residential Movement. If you like what you heard today, please leave a 5-star review and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you know someone who could benefit from this information, please share this with them. All of these actions help fuel the residential movement. Visit residentialmovement.com for show notes and for access to any links referenced in this episode. Thanks again for listening, Doc. Keep up the good work.